Hello, and welcome to my channel. Today I want to share with you all what I consider to be one of the strongest Warlock builds in the game currently. If you enjoy a more supportive style of gameplay, I really think you're going to enjoy my Battery Warlock build. The goal of this build is to supply you and all your allies with insane ability regeneration and healing. So, if this sounds interesting, let's get into the full build. To start, I just want to show you a little demonstration of what the build looks like in action. This is just in a lost sector, and I am going to show you the point of view from your allies with all the buffs they're going to receive. But as you can see, it's very simple. I'm just getting some kills, stacking my exotic perk, got a crafted succession with osmosis, that's a little funny. And as you can see, I'm just chaining my abilities back to back. I'm constantly getting these grenades, which means I'm constantly healing, constantly applying the exotic perk of Verity's Brow to myself and my allies, and I'm able to keep the perk constantly procced with osmosis on the sniper rifle. And we're going to come, more into the mods and whatnot. We're going to do a real deep dive here in a few minutes. So let's just go over what the goal of the build is. It's to provide allies with consistent healing, provide allies with massive ability regeneration, allow allies to use other exotics while keeping ability uptime similar to exotics like Heart of Inmost Light and Starfire Protocol, and we're going to combine multiple effects and mods for maximum efficiency. So here, I put out a YouTube short the other day to gauge interest in the build, and there were a few people who said they were interested in seeing the build, so this is the deep dive video I'm doing today. As you can see, it's very similar gameplay, but what we're going to do is we're going to see my friend's point of view in a second here. It should swap in just a moment. Here you can see him getting the Feel the Flames buff and Cure 2, and you can see he's getting crazy grenade recharge. As you can see, every time I consume my grenade, look at that recharge. He's getting 90% of his grenade every time I use my grenade, which is allowing him to chain his grenades. He's getting class ability energy, melee energy, and he's not even using Heart of Inmost Light. So he's able to have ability uptime like that exotic without build crafting into it. And you gotta remember, this is gonna apply to all of your allies. So it's very potent. So, like I said, the exotic is Verity's Brow, which I think is a criminally underused Warlock exotic, as it works fantastically in a lot of builds, but especially this one. So just in case you're unfamiliar with what Verity's Brow does, weapon blows that match your subclass stack Death Throws, the exotic perk. Death Throws grants 50% additional base grenade recharge rate and 20% increased damage per stack, up to 5 times. On grenade use, all allies within 18 meters receive the Feel the Flames buff, and this buff grants a massive grenade regeneration rate, and its duration is equal to the stacks consumed multiplied by 2. Dim has the grenade recharge rate at about 1000%, which I'm not sure is quite correct, but as you saw, it is quite fast. So how can we enhance this exotic? Because it's a very potent exotic on its own, but I'm sure we can build craft into it being a little bit stronger. So we're going to focus on a monochromatic build to easily stack Death Throws. And we're going to use weapons that can enhance the potency of the exotic perk. And we're going to combine these weapons with armor mods to further enhance its potency and top that off by tailoring a solar subclass to maximize all of this. So, you heard me bring this up earlier, the crafted succession with osmosis. Here it is in all its glory. You're probably looking at it thinking, Tristan, why the hell did you craft this thing? This looks terrible. I can think of 100 better perks to put on this thing, and you're probably right, but for this build, this is the key. So, why succession? So it's one of 2 craftable sniper rifles that can have enhanced demolitionist, the other being the King's Fall. But this one has the origin trait that provides even more ability energy on top of demolitionist. Bray Inheritance, which is the origin trait, gives you ability energy on every kill. Osmosis allows us to use the sniper to keep stacks of Death Throws, so every time we consume our grenade, we're going to reload with demolitionist, and we're going to proc osmosis, meaning we can generate orbs now with the sniper rifle, and we can proc the exotic perk of Verity's Brow. And enhanced demolitionist gives us nearly 33% grenade energy per kill, and remember, demolitionist is better on special weapons. Now we come to the energy weapon. Explosive Personality is what I'm using. So why am I using Explosive Personality? Well, I feel it gives us a quick way to stack Death Throws, and Wayframes are fantastic workhorse weapons with solid ad clear. The role I'm using is Autoloading Frenzy, but that's not overly important. There are some other perks you could pick. This just happens to be what I prefer. And you could use any solar energy weapon you prefer, but I think the Wayframe is going to synergize really well with the mods I'm going to show you in a little bit here. And you're going to see why I like this. Last but not least, our exotic weapon is Gjallarhorn, probably unsurprisingly. Gjallarhorn is a powerhouse exotic that, just like Verity's Brow, gets better with more allies. It's a fantastic boss damage weapon and can do room-wide ad clear with Wolfpack rounds. It's also going to synergize really well with the mod choices we're going to be going over shortly here. And with Rocket seemingly being untouched going into Lightfall, it's going to make it just as strong as it currently is, if not stronger when linears get hit down. So, once again, why these weapons? So the crafted Succession Sniper supplies us massive grenade energy for our own uses, while the crafted Explosive Personality gives us the ability to take out red bar enemies, as we will not be using our grenade for damage, and we're probably not going to be using a sniper rifle for ad clear. Gjallarhorn is a powerful exotic that we can use for both boss damage and room-wide ad clearing, and remember, with double special, the way it's working right now, before Lightfall, this might be changed, you're going to be getting a lot more heavy ammo, meaning you can use your Gjallarhorn a lot more than normal. So, just in case you're not familiar with where you can earn these weapons, Succession comes from the raid Deepstone Crypt. You can buy 1 red border per weekly clear at the end of the raid, and 5 will earn you the crafting pattern. Explosive Personality comes from the war table in the Helm. You can earn these red borders by playing the PsyOps activity or purchasing it at the table. Don't forget, this is going away with Lightfall, so if you want this weapon, you gotta start grinding for it now. You can buy 1 red border a day now instead of weekly from the war table in the Helm, so do that now. Gjallarhorn comes from the 30th Anniversary Expansion Pack. You do have to buy this, and you will have to run Grasp of Avarice, the dungeon, to get the exotic and then the catalyst. I recommend looking up a guide if you're unfamiliar. So now let's move into armor mods. What are we looking for in our armor mods? Well, we're looking for mods that'll give us grenade energy or improve our grenade regeneration. We're looking for ways to become charged with light that work in tandem with the weapons we've chosen, and we're looking for simplicity. We don't want there to be 100 different things we have to do to get this powerful effect. So first, the most important mod we're going to be using is Blast Radius, and this is going to allow us to become charged with light when we get kills with our Explosive Personality or our Gjallarhorn. Now, of course, you can use other rockets and grenade launchers, but I went over why I like these 2 choices. And this mod is going to allow us, with Gjallarhorn, 1-2 multi-kills to become charged with light quite easily. Next, we're going to use Bomber, that when we use our class ability, it's going to reduce our grenade cooldown. So you get in this nice loop where you consume your grenade. We're going to go over some mods that are going to give you a bunch of energy back in a second. You get a kill with your Succession Sniper Rifle, that's going to give you a bunch of grenade energy back. And then you're going to use your class ability, and you're going to instantly have your grenade back in like 3 seconds. It's insane how quickly this works, and the gameplay loop is quite smooth. Next, we're going to use Supercharge, which is going to give us 2 additional stacks of Charge with Light, up to a maximum of 5. And we're going to pair this with Charged Up, which is going to give us 1 additional stack of Charge with Light. This is going to allow us to have 5 charges of Stacked with Light. Now, you can do this with 4, you can do this with 2, it's completely up to you, but I think 5 is great because you're going to be able to proc and have your grenades constantly with the setup. You're going to see in a second here. Now, we're going to have Innovation, so every time we pick up an Orb of Power, that's going to reduce our grenade cooldown. So, hypothetically, grenade, sniper kill, class ability, grenade, sniper kill, pick up an orb, and then grenade, class ability, melee. You see the loop we're going for here. Next, we're going to be using Firepower to use our Charge with Light stack. So remember, Firepower gives you grenade energy back when you use your grenade, and it can be stacked. So we're going to be using 2 of these. I will go over that in a second, but keep that in your mind for now. And we have Impact Induction. So when we use our melee attack, it's going to reduce our grenade cooldown. Similar gameplay loop I've been going over. I think you're seeing where we're going with this. Last but not least, we're stacking double Firepower. You can use 3 Firepowers if you want to take off the mod that gives you 1 extra charge with light. I personally think 2 is good. 3 feels a little overkill. 2 feels just about right, so I would stick with that. And of course, we're using Harmonic Siphon, so when we get kills with any of our weapons, don't forget we have Osmosis on the Sniper, so that's also solar, we're going to be making orbs, which is going to be feeding our grenade cooldown. So, what do these mods enable? What's the grand goal? So Blast Radius is going to allow us to become charged with light very quickly. With Gjallarhorn and Explosive Personality, with Charged Up and Supercharge, we're going to be able to hold 5 stacks of Charge with Light. Firepower is then going to give us a portion of grenade energy back to us when we are charged with light, and we're going to stack 2 of those to give us even greater returns. So with 5 stacks of Charge with Light, we can use Firepower back to back 5 times in a row. Fantastic. So, like I've said, let's break down the gameplay loop. Excuse me. I'm recording this live, so sorry about that. So we're going to earn multi-kills with Explosive Personality and Gjallarhorn to become charged with light and stack Death Throws. When at 5 stacks of Death Throws and charged with light, you're going to swap to your Succession Sniper and consume your grenade. Don't forget, with Osmosis, this is going to change the element of the Sniper Rifle to solar. Getting a kill with the Succession Sniper Rifle is going to reset the timer of death throws and give you a chunk of grenade energy. Remember, you have to consume your grenade with the sniper out, because you're only going to be able to reset the timer of death throws if you have the solar element on your Succession. We're then going to pick up an Orb of Light or use our melee or class ability after this to be able to instantly use our grenade again, and we're just going to loop that over and over. This is going to grant us and our allies insane grenade regeneration and healing. And you can do this 5, 6, 7 times depending, how many enemies there are. Do you already have 5 stacks of Charged with Light? Are you picking up Charged with Light stacks? This is a very versatile build. So now we're going to go over your subclass choices. Now, the subclass is only about 2 to 3 things I would consider mandatory. There's actually a lot of wiggle room here, surprisingly. So let's go over that real quick. So I like Firebolt Grenade. Firebolt Grenade has the shortest cooldown of all the grenades. It's kind of a sucky grenade, but we're only really consuming our grenades. We're not using it for much outside of that. You can use Healing Grenade. It is quite good, but I personally prefer Firebolt. But that's up to you. We're going to use Heat Rises. This is mandatory. This is going to let you consume your grenade and heal everyone, so you have to have this on. The other two, if you want Icarus Dash or Touch of Flame, that's really up to you. It's whatever you prefer. If you like being able to dodge, go ahead, use Icarus Dash. Ember of Benevolence. This is critical. So on top of Verity's Brow, giving the grenade recharge to your allies, Ember of Benevolence is also going to give them melee regeneration and class ability regeneration. So we're doubling down on every ability being regenerated, and this is also going to apply to you. So this is a mandatory mod in the build, I feel. Now, if you're using Healing Nade or you're using Radiant, Ember of Solace is great as it increases the duration. And as you can see here, Ember of Torches, melee attacks make you Radiant. That is also up to you. You can choose to use that if you want. I'm using ones that give me stats right now because my gear kind of sucks, but these are really solid mods. Fragments you can use as well. For the Rift, something I kind of forgot to go over, you can use any Rift. You can use Healing Rift, Empowering Rift. You can use Phoenix Dive even if you want. Phoenix Dive is actually quite good, and it's getting buffed come Lightfall. So the real question is this an endgame viable build, right? Anyone can go into Lost Sector and kill a bunch of enemies and make it look cool, but really, is this going to work in the endgame? And I think so. So I believe this to be an extremely viable support playstyle for endgame content. Healing is very potent and is only going to get better and easier with Lightfall with some of the changes. Grenades are also very potent abilities, and having more of them is never a bad thing. And of course, the build only gets stronger the more allies you have. So, unfortunately, I don't have any footage of me using it in a GM outside of a video I posted. So if you're not familiar with my content, I do daily Destiny 2 discussions. This is not my normal content. So I have some GM footage of this build in this video. Unfortunately, I think I deleted the video. It takes up a lot of space. Having long videos takes up a lot of space. So we're going to take a quick look at this. So as you can see, we're doing Birthplace of the Vile. Coming up to the plate section, I got 2 stacks with Charged with Light. So my goal here is going to be to stack Death Throws quickly and become Charged with Light. And would you believe it? There's a group of enemies spawning. I'm going to send a Gjallarhorn over. Instantly stack to ×5. I'm using my grenade. Charged with Light goes down, but now I've healed my teammates. So I'm getting a ton of grenade energy. I got the Succession Sniper out. Getting kills with that. It's going to give me grenade energy. As you can see, I take out the Scream, get a bunch of grenade energy. I'm going to go and heal, and that's part of the reason why I survived there, right? I get that burst of healing. Unfortunately, my teammate does die. But you can see, again, I'm really close to another grenade. I used the class ability. I got my grenade. The only reason I get this res here is because I have that grenade to heal myself. I could not have got that res. I would have died there if it wasn't for that. So, as you can see, none of the enemies really get close to the plate because my teammates are throwing a million grenades. I got a Warlock. He's using Nezarec Sin, giving him constant, recharge on all his abilities on top of what I'm doing, and he's got a grenade constantly, 2-3 grenades on the field. It's a great build. So we're coming to the end. I hope you enjoyed this video. This is my first attempt at making a video like this. It's taken a surprising amount of time. I did it live and in PowerPoint because I actually don't know how to edit that well. If you watch any of my other videos, you're going to know editing is not my strong suit. Hopefully the audio is good. Hopefully it's not too crackly or anything. And, if you have any criticisms or suggestions, please, in the comments below, let me know. I would love to hear what you have, how I can improve, anything like that. Also, if you use the build and you like it, let me know. I'd love to know if other people find this build fun. I like this build quite a lot. I think it's really fun, but not everyone does. So be sure to let me know. And if you haven't, subscribe as I upload daily. If you enjoy this content, I'm uploading daily videos with discussion topics. I do shorts every other day, fun little things. We have a lot of fun with those. So, you know what? I appreciate if you've made it this far for watching. Thank you again, and be kind.